Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Kel. This is Working with Resonance. Well, I'm one half of Working with Resonance. I'm here to do a relationship read for Cancer right now. Welcome, 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 Cancer. Thank you for being here. We are going to look at the overall energies of you, your person, and your connection over the next 4 to 6 weeks. And then we're going to look at the overall, not the overall, then we're going to look at you, your person, and the connection in more detail. So we're working mostly energetically here, not too much about the storylines and narratives, because how it manifests through you is dependent on your own personal frequency and your own set of circumstances. But let's have a look at the overall energy for you, Cancer, over the next 4 to 6 weeks. We've got the Five of Swords and the Knight of Wands. It could be feeling like you're all caught up in red tape. I'm not quite sure what that means for you, but potentially feeling like you're a little bit restricted. There could be frustration. There could be irritation. There's some very passionate communication. Emotions are riding high at the moment, quite fiery as well. Um, you could be externalizing that frustration, even though it's coming from the restriction uh, internally. Five of Swords, universe is asking you, what is it that you want to experience? How do you want to feel physiologically? There is a lot of distortion coming through for you, Cancer, in regards to the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. And then there's this other aspect of you that just wants to flow, and it's light and it's not heavy with responsibility and those kinds of things. But there's some irritation and frustration definitely present for you overall for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Now, you could externalize that as physical passion uh, as a release. Okay, let's have a look at your person. Now, this could be partner, it could be friend, it could be workmate, it could be family, however it fits for you. They have the Devil and the Five of Pentacles. They are very locked in as well. So while you're feeling a freedom, like you're feeling your essence, wanting to be free, they're more working from the outside in, saying, oh, I can't do that, I can't do this, because that's what their quiet beliefs and values tell them. The manifestation externally for them could be what they're perceiving as lack. They're not really getting anywhere, but that's generally because energetically they are quite locked up. The energy is not flowing, it's being restricted and contained. Yours is more like that. It's like just an instant blast, and then you kind of come back, um, come back to balance. The connection overall has the star for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So this could be that both of you kind of desire it, but it's more a dream than anything tangible. And potentially with you having the Five of Swords and them having the Five of Discs, there is a change here, but the obstacles in the reality or the constructed reality can be really getting in the way of any flow of it. So it's kind of like it's a dream, it's a desire, but it's not informed. There's other stuff that has to be dealt with in the moment during this time. All right, Cancer, that's your overall energy. So as a connection point, the star, the dream, the desire, in the quiet time could be a good conversation starter, where you can reconnect together with the dream and perhaps sort of sit in the resonance of what that feels like, so that the point of attraction changes. Yeah. Silence and stillness and some breath work together. Visualization if you want, but just be careful not to attach too much to the outcome of that particular vision. You want the resonance of what it will feel like or what it does feel like, and allow that to flow through the body. These obstacles that are presenting for both of you, maybe they'll show up now as we look more in detail. Firstly, you, Cancer, we've got the Eight of Cups, Knight of Wands, Two of Wands, the High Priestess, Strength, the Knight of Wands. You have got some real passion going on here, Cancer. The Page of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Wow, you've got Knight of Wands overall, you've got Knight of Wands at the beginning, you've got the Knight of Wands about 3 weeks from now as well. Really, really strong influences. Take a breath, Cancer. Take a breath. It does feel like it's going to calm a little bit. It's going to shift from the frustration more to a focus on purpose and creativity, and passion, but not with the from the ego space, from the assertion of will space, more from the flow of source energy through you. Starting this time though, as we move forward, trying to make things happen. Cancer, waxing crescent moon is our timing indicator, as is the rest of this lunar cycle. Apparently someone once told you that if you tune into the frequency, you'll manifest it. And it feels like that's what you're trying to do here from the mind. From the mind, trying to bring it into being. It does feel like it had something to do with the connection itself. For the most part, going into that practice, open to the possibility that you will be able to manifest the desire. There's still a lot of thinking, a lot of force of the will coming through there. You're moving then from that to a shift from the learning, from the intellectual mind, from the acquired beliefs and values to your instincts. I'm not sure what the activation is. Perhaps it will show a little bit further into this reading. However, the shift here is quite evident. Moving to the instincts, being instinct-led rather than mind-led. Attuning to the passion, to the purpose, taking that focus off of the external and not attaching it to the person, whether it's this person or another person, shifting that focus away from that particular outcome of them, and to the outcome of happiness, what happiness feels like, what love feels like, what flow feels like, regardless of the external, and allowing yourself just to be instinct-led through that step by step by step. Now, the opportunities that the instincts will bring you, the next stepping stone, doesn't always look like it's aligned. However, if you just allow it to flow, trust the process, love you as you move through this, then we will get somewhere different to the assertion of will, the frustration, the irritation, that kind of level of passion to something that is more aligned with your essence. Yes, courage to be vulnerable is definitely a turning point for you, and this is the point at which the Knight of Wands shifts from will and frustration and tension to flow, to the awareness of the peaceful core of unconditional love of your purpose for being that has nothing to do with anybody else, person, place, or thing. All right. So this could be a moment, it could be a glimpse. It feels like this is unfolding over like a 2-week period where potentially you just get so fed up with trying to make it happen. It's like, I'm just going to go and do my own thing. And in doing that, you're stopping or you're starting to invert the polarity, right? To move away from repulsion to attraction, and coming into a deeper connection with self, with the Page of Cups. And then suddenly, in the manifestation field, there is this new growth in the direction that you were trying to assert the will. Okay, so it's a little bit counterintuitive, and in fact, we're putting together some materials around the polarity and overgiving and overthinking and all those kinds of things. They're not ready yet, and they're going to be impacted or delayed because I have some surgeries coming up. So, but we'll let you know as soon as they are available. But taking that focus off, flipping it from pushing the energy away to bringing it in, brings an opportunity that you were trying to manifest in the first place, Cancer. All right, that's towards the end of this 4 to 6 week period. Let's have a look at your person now. They have Judgment, they have Two of Pentacles, ooh, they have the Moon, the Devil, King of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Knight of Swords. All right, a lot of mirroring going on here. There is. There's some enmeshment here and entanglement here as well, Cancer. So this could be manifesting as codependence rather than partnership. It's relationship, and everything is swings and flows and bouncing off of each other. Yes, there is judgment involved. Why don't they do what they're supposed to do? And it's coming right back at you. Why don't you do what you're supposed to do? There's reflection here and mirroring. Two of Pentacles, talking about entanglement energetically in this deck. So they're feeling like there's a really strong connection here. I feel like you feel like there's a really strong connection here. But it is the old ways, the old beliefs and values, the shoulds and the shouldn'ts, the narratives, the storylines, the meanings that are being applied in the external rather than the connection with essence and flow that's causing a lot of friction, chaos, and tension here. They are feeling a desire for freedom as well, but they're much more rules focused, the shoulds and the shouldn'ts, and role focused. So their storylines and narratives have fairly concrete paradigms and instructions around roles. So partners in a relationship, this partner should be like this and this partner should be like that. And they're constructed. They're things that have been acquired through a lifetime as well. Okay. So there is a strong focus coming through here on that. There's a strong focus coming through for your person here as well on how they're perceived from the external, not by you, by the world in general, about status, about putting on, you know, the right face for the external. So if this is being translated to the relationship, then the relationship needs to look a certain way. You guys need to behave a certain way with public for them to feel a false sense of security and stability. All right. So as you're transitioning somewhat through this 4 to 6 weeks period, Cancer, so is your person over here. All right. Because the rules, the storylines and narratives as they perceive them, coming into the awareness and some evidence from their own experience that things don't quite work that way. Yeah, that's how they're supposed to work, right, in the fairy tale or in the storyline narrative. But when applied to the physical reality of lived experience, it doesn't quite work that way. And that's causes the friction, right, and the tension. But as you're starting to transform and come into the calmness and tapping into your source energy rather than the friction energy, dragon breath, that's what it's like. It's like, and then there's a period of calm, right? But as you are coming into calmness, they feel more secure, more stable, more balanced. Potentially they become more attractive to you, so just be mindful not to re-engage with the overreaching and simply allow them to be. But as they come into balance physically and they feel more stable, their activation then causes them to question everything. Okay. Again, this is sort of providing evidence that this is like a codependent, wounded relationship rather than balanced and from the soul level. I mean, there's a soul connection here. We can't doubt that at all. But the residues of the baggage keep presenting. So stability scares the pants off them and causes them to question, causes them to doubt, and causes them to run as far and fast as they can go. Is that physically leaving? Probably not. But it's definitely then they get caught up in the mind space, they get caught up in the fear, and that is manifesting as pushing you away. All right, so you kind of flip as the 4 to 6 weeks goes on. Let's have a look at the relationship, the connection itself over the next 4 to 6 weeks. All right. Oh, there's a surprise here. 7 of Swords. Yes, we've already seen that both of you are working through residues. Both of you are being guided to find your truth individually. Both of you have been guided to let go of working from the outside in and starting to work from the inside out. That's it's going to take you some time. It really is. It's going to take some time. And things are going to feel like they're out of control for a little bit with the Chariot. So while you're all caught up in the frustration of everything, and then decide, you know what, I'm just letting it go and go and focus on your own things, kind of like an emotional knee-jerk reaction. And they're caught up in the shoulds and the shouldn'ts, things are going to feel like they're out of control. As much as possible to allow for transition and to not regenerate more of the same frequency residues, just let it feel like it's out of control. There's nothing to be done. It's momentary. It will pass. Just make sure that your thoughts, words, and actions are aligned with your truth. If you want to take it to a higher level, thoughts, words, and actions aligned with source energy, your source energy, which is unconditional love. Does that mean you have to put up with bad behavior? No, but we'll go into that at some other time. It does, however, mean that there's potentially a different way of doing things. And this is a connection point for both of you. You both kind of come to the realization that there is another way of doing things. And then your person kind of gets triggered. So this is where the entanglement, the enmeshment comes into play, because when you're coming into balance, this is where the seesaw is, right? When you come into balance, they're out of control. When you're out of control, they're more in balance, whether it's an illusion or not. It doesn't really matter. That's the seesaw. That's the pendulum that's playing out for you over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Potentially start here in a quiet moment when emotions are not running high. Sit down and have a conversation about the connection, about the desire, about the dream, about how you guys would like it to feel. Okay. If you need any assistance, feel free to make an appointment, and we'll assist you with some navigation. Lots of love, Cancer. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.